Hey girl, hey. Hey guy, hey. Hey you, hey. What's up? It's your favorite curly space cadet and she's back. And she's back to talk about Real Housewives of Beverly Hills because Dorit. I wore this shirt for her today. This is Dorit. This is Dorit's season, right, guys? Le Villain has come out to play. Say yes. Say yes. Dorit has entered her villain mode. And I just want to say that during this entire argument at the end of the episode where Dorit is saying that PK is being disrespectful to her by not communicating properly with her and she's trying to protect her kids. Is there something that I'm missing? Did y'all get... I'm so confused. Y'all help unconfuse me with Dorit's life, because if you're as confused about her being blindsided about this divorce as I am, you're probably more confused than she was blindsided about this divorce, because how can you keep saying you didn't know he wanted a divorce? And I'm even listening to Dorit in the after show talking about how her and Sutton's situation were so different. How can she sit here and keep telling us she had no idea that he wanted a divorce, while in the same breath of another story she told say PK said in an argument he wants a divorce, we're separated, but I'm fighting for our relationship. I didn't know he wanted a divorce until last episode before the break. It was until they had that conversation at that table, right? And now it's this 4-hour therapy mediation. And so Dorit goes and explains it in the after show, guys. Like, let's talk about it. And she's explaining it in the after show that her relationship, again, this is Dorit watching the house burn down as she smokes her cigarette. Y'all see Dorit? Anyways, Dorit is explaining how the relationship with PK is he gets one way one day and then in another breath another way the next day, and she just never knows which way she should listen to. But now she's also saying in the after show that have they worked through it, or are they working through it? They get to a point where they're working either left or right, but they haven't gotten through it, and she's hell-bent on working through it. But he keeps saying, from what I'm understanding, that he don't want it anymore. And when she was going in on how Sutton's trying to help her because Sutton's situation is similar, but it's not the same, because Sutton's husband told her that he wants a divorce and this is what it is. Dorit, that's not what PK just told you. Several times, might I add, to this point. But Sutton's situation was different. Even though Sutton in the after show tells us that this divorce happened when one of her children was 10 years old, just like little Jaeger. His name is not Jaeger. I always want to call her son's name Jaeger. Jagger. Little Jagger. So, let's get into the episode, because we've got 20 minutes to film this. Let's go. We start this episode out with Garcelle and her son talking about all these models that he just has no idea about. But he's going to be a model, you guys. And then we cut to Phoenix doing some twirls in her living room while Jagger is like, yay, Kinsley, such beautiful ballet dancing. Such a beautiful, supportive big brother. I like that. I do like this friendship that we see the kids cultivating. Like, you always want that. And then we get a cut with Avi and Sutton. And Avi and Sutton's relationship, like we always keep saying, it's just tit for tat. But some people thrive like that. Some people love relationships like that. I used to be one of them. I am. I don't know. Anyways. Are we talking? We talking? Can you hear me? Now we cut to Bozoma on a date. Bozoma. I'm going to get her name right in this review today. Bozoma, Boz, Boz is on a date with her man, whom she's been dating for several months. I'm pretty sure she said his name. It was like Yarn, Keith, Kier, somewhere in there. I was listening, and I told myself to write it down, but I didn't. Anyways, she likes him because he's thoughtful and he's got like the weight of a man. They're doing a long distance relationship, and the long distance is San Diego to LA. And so Boz, we get them on the beach eating a little lunch, I guess, and talking. But the only thing that I could see in this scene was Boz is sewing because the hair was flipped up and the wind was blowing, and I could just see the flip method of the sewing. That's all I could see. I'm sorry. Anyways, I just don't like sewings like anymore. I just don't. They're not natural looking, y'all. No matter how bad you try to get it to look natural, man. We get Boz and her man talking about. Her man asks her what he should expect from this relationship, and she goes into how after her last relationship she really shouldn't trust men, but this guy is different. Feels so different. Heard this story before, so I hope it's different like she says it is. But she says, I'm looking to make this relationship last. And she tells us how consistent he is. If he says he's going to call, he will call. She's not looking for him. He's offering up information when she's not even asking. And then she asks him, are you dating for marriage? And he tells her, of course, I don't date not to marry. And so she's just like, so, where is this going? And they make that little laugh. Of course I knew you were going to say that. It's cute. It's cute, but she did tell us that they had only been like seeing each other for a couple of months. So while it's cute, my red flags are up just a little bit whenever anybody starts talking marriage within the first few weeks, months of dating. I mean, I get you're of a certain age, but now we get Erica and Dorit going to lunch. We get Erica and Dorit going to lunch. And Dorit feels pulled out the mud because her parents have come into town to save her. Dorit's parents have come into town to her rescue. So now we are at the restaurant and we get Dorit's iconic order: Belvedere Club soda, short glass, 3 lemons, squeezed in, carcass out, please. Thank you very much. How is that not the intro to like a villain song? Come on now. Anyways, they start talking about the kids, and she says how she can compartmentalize her feelings for PK when the kids are around, but she can only do that for so long, And she's really getting ready to she's getting ready to go have a therapy session. So they're queuing up this therapy session for us. And this therapy session, you guys, apparently hit the rocks. She hit her head and was, I don't know, figured out everything was a sham. I don't know what happened in this 4-hour therapy session she had. But before this therapy session, we were talking to Erica. She talks about how he's aggressive when he talks to her, but she's not completely done with PK. She wants to try and save her marriage. Okay. Then we get to talking about the night before, and Dorit has been too forgiving for too long, Shirley. She has a fire in her ass, And so we're talking to Sutton, and we're talking about Sutton and how she always kicks people when she's down. And while there is evidence that Sutton has been doing that recently, I really have to say she learned it from the best. Because this is all circumstantial of the time that she's in now. The only reason it hurts is because it's you, Dorit, or your friend. But when it was you and your little gang of mean girls, doing this to everybody else? Are you kidding me? I am supposed to feel remorse for something that you have actively participated in for so long, and now it's happening to you. And boo-hoo, we want to know the truth. And Sutton didn't even really come at you that hard, honey. 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 And yeah, she's leaning in from the part of, I can recognize what it is. But at the same time, you guys weren't friends. So if you come at her a certain kind of way when she's offering you help, she gonna come back at you. You're looking for her to be soft to you, and she was soft to you, and you took the softness. And you guys are saying, oh, that's the Southern. Southern people get such a bad rep for trying to be kind-hearted people to people we don't like. It is such an... Let me calm down when I say this. It is such an annoying thing when people take Southern people's kind-heartedness to their enemies as fakeness. We can still wish you well and see you in a terrible situation and want to help you out of it while hating your guts. I'm sorry, we're just better people. Stop. I'm sorry we care so much. And while Sutton may not like Dorit, I do feel like Sutton's coming from a decent place because she knows she's gonna hit the fan. She knows it. And spoiler alert, it does. Anyways. How strong Dorit is coming this season all feels like a smear campaign to me. It's all tactical to me. It's so strong. And she's just like, oh, I'm no nonsense and I'm not taking anybody's BS this season. Okay. But you're saying you want to save your marriage while also talking about how PK is a raging alcoholic. And I don't know, Heavenly said it best when she was talking to Contessa.
The best advice I ever gave Contessa was, bitch, if you're going to stay with the man, shut the up. If you're going to badmouth your husband in public and your family in public and you're going to stay with him, don't do it.
When she told Contessa, you can't be out here actively smearing his name if you want to work it out. Like, just saying. So now we get to Garcelle with her sons Oliver, and I think this one is Jace, not Jaden. I think Jaden went to go live with his dad, right? And so, or is it? No, this one's Jaden, and Jace went to go live with his dad. And his girlfriend, Ashlyn. And they're all going to the beach house. And we're talking about how she is so proud that she gets to share this with her family, And to everybody asking, what is Garcelle's storyline this season? To every one of you naysayers out there saying she has no storyline, I'm sorry her storyline is not wrapped and shrouded in despair and her life falling apart. I'm sorry she doesn't have a failing marriage to spotlight right now. What she does have to spotlight and what she is showing us and being vulnerable about is her success in her career, and and now she's focusing on her family, which she has neglected for so long. She feels responsible. She feels responsible for her children's decisions in their youth. Oliver, she breaks down and she tells us this heartbreak. I am in tears watching this scene, and I have people on Twitter telling me they don't know what her storyline is, and she's antagonistical. You guys shut the. Anyways, we get a heartbreaking story from her about her son during some of his active years in his drug addiction, and how she had to instill very tough love during that time period. She talks about how her son was homeless, and there was one night she was hanging out with a girlfriend late night at her house, and they heard some clunking around outside, And so she goes to check, and it's Oliver trying to break into her pool house. And as a mother, he doesn't even look recognizable to her. Zombie walking, as they would call it, I think. And so this story was so difficult to hear, but I really appreciate this openness, especially coming from her hearing this story. She's over the hump and he's gotten through that drug addiction. And looking at Mary's son right now on Salt Lake City and seeing the correlation to how these mothers are dealing with these hard things they have to go through with their sons and drug addiction, and being so affluent that you have access to so much. Anyways, I'm getting off on a rant. But Garcelle was telling us how she had to cut Oliver off completely in order to give him the tough love for him to make the decision to change his life. And thank God he did, because look at where he is now. But that didn't come easy. And there are still things he's working, having to rebuild, because he had to start from step one. He didn't have access to his family, his brothers. He couldn't see them. He couldn't see, like, honestly, anything. And then she's saying how having his family around and the inclusion of him, having a kid really helped him change his life around. That was such a powerful scene. And for anyone who thinks it isn't, or isn't on the level of what we saw with like Mary and her son, because we're watching Mary and her son go actively through the hard time of the drug addiction, versus looking at Garcelle and seeing what could be with proper help and attention and guidance. I don't know. Y'all let me know in the comments. That was powerful. I will say, I think Mary and Garcelle's, their children are at different points of an addiction type thing. So I'm not comparing the two, but I'm just saying, looking at the situations, these two strong mothers having to make a decision on a child going through drug addiction, and hearing how they are and went through it, and seeing the journey and the struggle. We're watching it at two different points. Like, that's what I'm saying. Anyways, then after that deep, heartfelt, really lovely scene of getting to know Garcelle, we jump over to Dorit, and we get Boz coming over, and she's welcoming her into the house. Dorit has her whole family here, so Dorit's mom and dad are like, "Hey, we've heard so much about you." And in the confessional, Boz says she loves Dorit because Dorit gives a lot of detail, and she likes to talk. And she likes to talk. And Boz loves to listen. But if you are as messy as me, what you heard when Boz said Dorit likes to talk and I like to listen is, I like to hear gossip. And so if Dorit is willing to share her gossip with me, I am here to listen. That's what I heard. Did y'all hear that? That's what I heard. Anyways, so we get to Dorit's house, and Boz and Dorit are talking, and apparently Dorit has just come home from this 4-hour therapy session with PK, and it was so awful. It ended with him screaming, "This is why I want a divorce." Terrible. But why? What did you say that made him say that he wanted a divorce? Like, we keep getting this information from Dorit, but she's not telling me nothing. What the fuck is going on for this to be happening? And she keeps saying PK is erratic, and now he's like, she's talking like he's bipolar, and he's like flipped the switch and he's on a bipolar manic episode, and he's an alcoholic, and now he's taking a manic episode and he needs to take his medication. Like, she's talking like he's on almost, I could compare it to how Mia be talking about Gordon. Cause watch next season, she gonna come around talking about how he unsafe to the kids. I could put money down on it. I bet she'd do that. Like, what are you telling us? Like, without giving us information, we're here left to make assumptions. But, anyways, she's just telling us after this 4-hour therapy session, she came home and realized she needed to get her shit together and get her ducks in order because he's going off the rails. And then she says that this moment, this is when he said he wanted a divorce in this 4-hour therapy session. And at this moment is when she felt so blindsided. But haven't we been working up to this? And she's saying they were amicable at first and she thought they were working to something better. But I just feel like this man keeps telling you he wants a divorce and you're trying to work it out, but he wants a divorce. That's what I'm hearing. And so she says she needs a plan because he's irrational. And when I hear her talking about, oh my God, I need a plan, he's irrational, I need to make sure my shit is in order, he cut her off. Next. So then Bose takes this time to segue to Kyle and Dorit's relationship. And that's such a good segue because Dorit needs a check and Bose is helping her keep it. At the party, she was shocked by the back and forth between Dorit and Camille, and Bose is wondering, why did Kyle invite Camille? And Dorit's like, I wondered the same thing, and this isn't the first time she's done something like this. I don't know. But she didn't even tell Dorit that Camille was going to be there, so she's just like, everybody's doing malicious implicit. What is it? Yes. Everybody's using malicious incompetence to do their arguments, and it's quite honestly, everybody's doing it and pretending like they're not. Then we get over to the Sutton rule, and Bose says it hurt her feelings when Sutton told her, you're just angry at your life. And she was weaponizing Dorit's current situation in the argument against her. And how all the women always take the opportunity to go at each other without listening and being compassionate and blah, 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 blah. And Bose, honey, sweetheart, I just want to let you know that you are sitting with the girl who just got ousted from the Mean Girls table. So she knows all about that kind of stuff. But the only reason she's here in your lap, letting you listen to her cry, is because she doesn't have any friends at the moment who will be here and help her. Because she's ousted everybody at this moment. And now she's going through a difficult time. A difficult time. Like, everything Dorit and Bose are describing is Kyle, Erica, Lisa Rinna, and Dorit. And then Sutton now has fallen into the Mean Girls clique because there is an opening. Lisa Rinna's not here anymore, and Erica last season went through her little thing, and now Kyle's going through a divorce, so she's probably not doing the Mean Girl thing. She's trying to be a lesbian. So this is an exact mirror. Sutton is an exact mirror of how they used to be on this show. And now y'all got a problem with it. Stop it. Stop it, honey. Sutton is an exact mirror of who Kyle, Erica, Lisa Rinna, and Dorit used to be on this show with their Fox Sports 5 having asses. So, and Boz is new. That's all I'm going to say. We get a scene with Erica meeting with Martin Lawrence Ballard where she's going to have him design her house because it's her new era. She's in her new Erica, big, bad Erica era. I don't know. But all I know is she can't afford this. And so I'm wondering, how is she affording this? And at the end of the scene, we get them talking about how, this is going to be your hardest challenge ever working with my little tiny budget. And yeah, I knew that she was going to probably be furnishing it. Like all the money she's going to spend is going to go towards like the furniture and stuff. She's probably not going to have to pay him a commission because his commission is screen time. But as we're getting this walk through the house and talking about the decor, the only note I really took from this scene was, ooh, production is shady, showing us Erica's old face from like 6 or 7 faces ago. All right, so now we're going to the Viper room because Erica is being honored at the Glad something something something. And then it's not she's being honored, it's she's having a single release. So she's probably doing both. I don't know. They didn't explain that right or very well. And so we're talking about the Viper room, and all the ladies are talking about how they've never been. Kyle's never been. Jen Tilly's never been. She's been, just not on club nights. They would have poker nights there, secret poker nights. Garcelle has been, and she talked about how she went one time, and Johnny Depp probably, I think he used to own it, and how she ended up making out with him one night. What? Who else have you made out with? And then we get Erica and Dorit on the phone, and she's telling her about the great conversation she had with Bose earlier. And then she starts prodding Erica about, have you heard about Kyle talking to PK or texting PK? Have you heard anything about this? Because I don't know anything about this. And us as the audience are like, huh? What do you mean you don't know about it? We thought you knew about it. And so Erica, no, I don't know nothing. But maybe you should talk to Kyle. Yeah, you should talk to Kyle. Erica, you know something. But she says she wants to ask Kyle what they're texting about, because if Kyle is texting the PK, then that's something she needs to know, because her and PK aren't even in communication right now. And so we get to the red carpet, and now Kesha and Kyle and Kesha are hanging out. Kyle has brought Kesha to this premiere, and Kyle has a new girlfriend. Listen, Kyle, find yourself. I don't care anymore. Sutton is on the way with Jennifer Tilly, and she tells her she's nervous about Boz because Sutton has a feeling that Boz is getting her information from Dorit and forming her opinion about Sutton from Dorit's influence. And I think Boz is really just coming into this as a new person, seeing that Dorit is the underdog right now and trying to stick up for her, but stop. Sutton says she doesn't like the word weaponized was used against her. And we get in there, and Kyle gets stuck in Bose's bracelet. It's Kyle, Sutton, Jennifer Tilly, and Garcelle standing around when Bose walks up. And so after Kyle gets unstuck, Jennifer Tilly makes a joke saying, oh, is that a bracelet or a weapon? And then Sutton makes another joke and says, oh, is that a weapon being, you're going to use that weapon against me? No, just don't weaponize it against me. Old white people jokes. And then Sutton and Bose go over to the bar to go have a conversation. And you hear Dorit come in and go, oh, who's Boz talking to over there? Because you know she was going to go straight over there to Boz. But it's Sutton and Boz talking. And when we told Dorit it was Sutton, she was like, ugh. So we got Sutton and we got Boz talking. And Sutton is telling Boz that she does not like the word weaponized. Bose is Bose. And Bose explains why she used the word weaponized, and that the reason why she took the information Dorit gave her, and Sutton used that information to hurt Dorit. And Sutton's argument is intent. Sutton's argument is based in intent. She claims she didn't intend to hurt Dorit, but Bose tells her, well, you did hurt Dorit. And so Sutton is saying, well, Dorit's going through a hard time, this and divorce that. And Bose tells Sutton, listen, you were angry and that's fine. You did what you did. And Sutton cuts her off and says, listen, I wasn't angry. I was defensive. And Sutton is defensive right now because her feelings are hurt. And you can tell Sutton's feelings are hurt because Dorit does not want her help. And that is why Sutton's feelings are hurt. That's all it really boils down to. Sutton's trying to help someone she doesn't like, and that person she does not like is not taking her help. Why won't you take my kindness, you evil-hearted bitch? But in Sutton's defense, Sutton feels like Boz is formulating her opinion based on Dorit's influence before actually getting to know her or any of the other girls in the group. So it's not just Sutton feeling like this, I bet. But because Dorit is kind of playing possum right now in this group of girls, in the defense of, oh, I've been hurt so bad. This is how I've been hurt. Look, and Boz is like, oh, all these girls are coming at her so hard. In a group of really strong women, but Dorit is not this little Bambi-eyed. She's been a bitch. Like, it's plain and clear. Dorit has been a bitch. So Sutton makes a faux pas in my opinion. She tells Boz that she speaks so eloquently, and we get a little bit of sparring with the words after that happens. Because I think Boz really caught that, and when you're a really strong black businesswoman in business, you don't let microaggressions brush you by really easily. And so that is a microaggression, no matter how much anybody wants to tell you it's a compliment, because I speak eloquently just as you speak eloquently. And you're very masterful with your words, so much so that it could be dangerous. And what Boz said was true. It was not, it was truth. It was all based in facts. But Boz is telling her, your words, you get them. Your words can be dangerous. And she's saying, either dangerous or she's a mean girl. And I'm just like, Boz, you're hanging out with the girl who just got kicked out of the Mean Girls clique. Like, stop. Kesha is meeting the girls, and then Erica shows up to tell the girls tonight is all about having fun. It's LA Pride. I'm dropping my new single, Domino. It's not a performance. I'm just dropping it. And as she's on stage dropping it, the girls are playing along. Kyle don't look into it, but whatever. And then we get Erica coming back to the table, and we see the outfits. We have Erica, Boz, and Kyle all wearing a leather outfit, and then Garcelle, Sutton, Jennifer Tilly are wearing sparkles along with Dorit. And so someone points it out, and Dorit goes, "Oh, I don't feel like I should be on this side of the table. I feel like I should be wearing. I feel like I should. Oh my God, I'm having such an identity crisis." Just saying. And so we start talking. In my notes when she says that, I should be wearing, I said, oh no, she's not a mean girl. She's just insecure. Anyways, we start talking with Dorit to Kyle. Oh, Dorit start talking to Kyle, and she's just like, PK is in this unpredictable state of mind, and she's in a real high alert. And when he's like this, you don't know what he can do. And she's just wondering and curious if you've spoken to him. That was a really, really interesting way of asking, have you been texting PK? That was a really interesting way of asking, have you been texting PK? And so Kyle plays it, it's just memes, it's just jokes. We're not texting about your divorce or anything about his life. And Dorit goes, but is it like even still now? And she's like, I mean, I may or may not have gotten a meme like last week, like maybe. And so Dorit's whole point is, why you texting my husband, how if we not talking? Dorit would have expected Kyle to share that with her, right? And Kyle is saying she would have sided with Dorit You know, at the end of the day, Kyle is a girl's girl. But PK is her friend for over 10 years. And then Kyle tries to say, well, Dorit, you haven't really told us what's going on in your life, so I'm just talking to him, sending memes. Like, I don't know what's bad with you and PK. You said there's something kind of going on. And that is gaslighting. Kyle, y'all know she's going through it. Y'all were just on the boat. And then Dorit said, if I were texting Mo, you would be livid. And Dorit is going into how her and PK are not good right now. He's making her life difficult. And then you hear Garcelle interject and say, how? Thank you. Because all I keep hearing her say is, he's making my life difficult. Life is difficult. Life is just so bad. He's off the rails. He's unhinged. And so this is why I like Garcelle, because she's in my mind. I need to know what's going on. How is he doing that? And Dorit says he keeps disrespecting her by not communicating with her, and they have 2 small children. And when you're separated, you're trying to shield them. And Sutton goes, you can't shield them. And I agree, you can't shield him. That child is 10. He knows what's going on. But to the point where Dorit hasn't told us what's actually happening, it's because Dorit is in denial. Dorit is in denial about the state of her marriage and that it is over. And she keeps telling us she's actively fighting for it, but I think PK is done. He's done. And so she's shielding her kids from that fact. She won't tell us how he's disrespecting her, because the way he's disrespecting her is telling her he doesn't want to work out this relationship with her. That's the disrespect. He's not communicating with you because he doesn't want to continue this relationship. That's what she's calling disrespect. Yes, he's not taking the initiative or the effort for the kids, but he's telling you he's done with you, so you need to get your life together, Dorit. And that's what these girls are telling you, and you can't hear it because you're mad. And that's what Sutton's trying to tell you when she says you can't shield your kids from that forever and you need to open your eyes. But they're like, well, Sutton, you're not her friend. You're being mean. Okay, life is mean. It's about to get meaner for Dorit in a minute. But I get what you guys are saying. I get what the consensus is saying with Sutton not being nice about this. But I'm on the fence with it. I've sided with Sutton on this part. I'm sorry. Dorit is acting willfully ignorant while coming to us with a smear campaign against PK this season to make him look like the bad guy in this divorce. And I don't know, like, yeah, he's funny with his money. And I'm sure maybe he's done some funny things with the money for y'all's finances. But Dorit, you stuck by him by all of these things. And you got in this relationship when he left his ex-wife dirty. So I don't feel bad. I can't feel bad. How? How am I supposed to feel bad? And she's being ignorant and mean about it right now. And she's not trying to take any help from people who want to help her, who've been through that same situation. Instead, she's taking the Erica route and meeting them all with vitriol. And yes, sure, Kyle has gaslit you for so long. But I don't know. I just feel like you're on an island. You shouldn't be doing this. Oh, damn, this is getting long. Sutton is saying she meant what she said from the bottom of her heart. And then goes, what have I ever done to you? And Erica says, well, you made that comment about her at that party the night before where you weaponized it against her. You said, you know, you're only mad because your life sucks. And yes, but Sutton says she was initially defending her and then became defensive. And Sutton is explaining away, while Dorit is saying, how is she supposed to believe you? She can't fathom that you're good. Oh, Dorit is saying, how is she supposed to believe that that was your intent to, like, defend me? Because Dorit can't fathom that her good Judy Erica was talking shit about her, right? But Sutton says, I don't even care anymore if you can't believe that I was defending you. It is what it is. Fuck this shit. Fuck you. Basically. Sutton says, I wasn't saying I wanted to be the first person you call, but if you needed help, you could call me. I'm not saying we're best friends, but I was trying to lend an olive branch. But you don't want my fucking olive branch, so I'll take that shit back with my $300K a month and sit on my porch and drink my lemonade and watch your life burn. But Sutton is clearly hurt. That's something that probably went through her head. She's clearly hurt because Kyle goes, well, let's talk about us now because this isn't going anywhere. Because Sutton says, I'll just be cordial with you. We don't have to be friends. Fuck this. We don't have to be friends. And Kyle says, yeah, let's talk about us. And Sutton being clearly hurt is like, yeah, back to your real friends, your real fucking friend right here, your real friend who's ousting you right here. Ha ha ha. Literally laughing. Kyle and Dorit in the text and PK. Boz says it's a breaking of friend code. Kyle is trying to defend it because she's always texted PK and it's always been fine, and Dorit has been okay with it before. And Erica is asked by Garcelle, would you have a problem? And Erica's like, well, I've never been there. That's not an answer, Erica. And then Kyle says, if it bothers you, then I will not do it. I'm not going to do it. I don't think she apologized. She didn't apologize. She said later she apologized, but she didn't. And then Dorit goes, it's not the texting that's the problem. It's that you don't actually tell me. And Kyle in her confessional goes and says, well, PK's been a better friend to me lately, so I'm PK's friend, not yours. That's what she's saying without saying it, while also talking out the side of her mouth saying, oh, I always take the girl's side, while never saying Dorit's name. Kyle, you think we stupid? I'm not stupid. You're not that girl's friend. You're PK's friend. Oh, Dorit saying Kyle feeling comfortable enough to text PK while Dorit is going through this makes her feel some type of way. And Kyle's trying to say, well, if you texted Mo, and Dorit's like, well, no. And then Kyle says, you know what? Fuck this. I'm done. And Dorit is just like, I need clarity on what I'm done means. And Kyle goes, I'm done trying to fix this. I've tried with you. And Dorit's like, well, as am I. And then Kyle goes, well, okay, then stop being so fucking bitter about it. That hurt. Because Kyle goes, I've apologized and I said I won't text him anymore. What more do you want from me? And Dorit goes, I want you to stop fucking raising your voice at me. As she lunges forward at Kyle. Does Dorit want to beat Kyle's ass? Like, is it that serious, Dorit? You that mad at Kyle? There's something else here. And you can't convince me otherwise. There's something else here. But we ended with a glass breaking. Dorit continues yelling and trying to get in Kyle's face, saying, you don't get to speak to me that way. Do you understand, Kyle? The rules are different now. You don't get to scream in my face and yell at me and say, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. I'm going to yell at you and I'm going to lunge in your face and I'm going to say, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. And it ends with the glass breaking, the screen going to black, and you hearing Erica say, all right, that's enough. We don't actually get to see the glass break, but does Dorit want to put hands on Kyle? Tune in next time on the next episode of Dragon Ball Z to find out. Y'all, Dorit is angry at her life and is projecting heavily. But that's all I got for y'all today. That episode, there was so much in this episode. I tried my hardest to get this review to you guys out with like 20 minutes of entertainment, but I'm sorry. We're at an hour. And I love y'all so much, so I really hope that you give me patience, and I'm going to get this review out to you as soon as I can. With that being said, does Dorit want to put hands on Kyle? I think so. Those are my thoughts for the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. I'm excited for the next episode. We got Salt Lake City tonight, and Jesus Christ, that's going to be another long one. You guys are probably going to get these over the weekend. It's supposed to be snow weekend. But it's your favorite curly space cadet, and she's out.